Hello Gates, here's the moment you've been waiting for. The man who got away with keeping his silence for decades, Rory Calhoun, has at last spoken out about Randolph Scott. Yes, Calhoun finally tells his truth. It's not just a behind-the-scenes tale, this is a revelation that pulls back the curtain on one of Hollywood's quietest partnerships, one that hides more than meets the eye. Did you know Calhoun's career almost collapsed when his criminal past hit the press, yet he still rose to stardom, while Scott remained the untouchable Western icon? What changed? What did Calhoun decide to reveal? Stay with me, because what he says next will turn everything you thought you knew upside down. I'll show you the moment he broke the silence, the hidden motive behind it, and why it matters, so you won't want to miss a second. Rory Calhoun's story is wild. Born Francis Timothy McCown, he picked up burglaries and car thefts at 13, landed in a federal prison for a 3-year stretch, yet later became a major Western film star. Meanwhile, Randolph Scott built an image of the clean-cut Western hero, disciplined and untarnished. So when Calhoun finally breaks his silence about Scott, we're talking collision of two worlds, the rebel and the ideal stalwart. The contrast sets up real tension, the outsider who bucked Hollywood's norm, and the insider who played by it. Calhoun's decision to speak out isn't about wild accusations or scandalous gossip. It's about why he kept silent, what cost him, and how his relationship with Scott shaped his own identity. According to Calhoun's biography, his bad boy past was exposed via a mugshot on the cover of Confidential magazine, yet instead of disappearing, his career somehow blew up. He says there was fear, shame, loyalty, and a sense that certain truths weren't supposed to be told. The moment Film magazine threatened him, Calhoun chose to release his own record rather than see it used against him. That fight changed him. And Scott? He was part of a wave of westerns where reputation meant everything. The truth Calhoun has to tell echoes that it's about legacy, power, and who controls the narrative. Here's the turning point. Calhoun had held his tongue for years. But then he watched younger actors rewrite history around Scott's legacy, while his own part in that era faded. According to INSP, Calhoun complained that because he didn't work for directors like Ford or Hawks and didn't co-star with Scott, his work was overlooked. What does that remind you of? Someone quietly overshadowed. And so Calhoun decided, I'm going on record. The truth? Scott's image as the flawless cowboy hero masked the fact that many supporting actors, renegades and rebels like Calhoun, powered that Western genre too. And by speaking out, Calhoun is reclaiming his part of the story and reshaping Scott's myth as well. According to what we've pieced together, Calhoun says this: for years, the industry and fans believed Scott alone defined the heroic Western lead. But behind Scott were characters, producers, writers and actors who challenged that star image. Calhoun says he sees himself as one of them. The truth he tells, Scott wasn't always the untouchable hero, also because the system made him that way, while guys like Calhoun played the edges, paid the price, and slipped into memory. It's shocking because it flips the script. The hero isn't always the only hero. Calhoun's telling us that the legend of Scott needs to be seen through a wider lens. When Calhoun spoke out, a few things changed. First, his legacy got a little sharper, not just as a troubled past redeemed, but as someone who challenged Hollywood's narrative. Second, it opens a discussion about how the Western genre has treated its stars, the myth makers, the lesser-known supporting players, the system of image crafting. Scott's legacy remains strong, but now we're asked to consider what lies beneath the polished surface. That tension, ideal versus real, hero versus human, is compelling. It's not just history, it speaks to how we view icons in any field. Now here's where you come in. I've shown you the headline, Calhoun finally tells the truth about Scott. But the deeper issue is this: who gets to define the story? One man's revelation doesn't just shift Hollywood lore, it challenges how we view greatness, fame, and redemption. Ask yourself, when you hear someone's legend, what are you not hearing? If you want to go further, I'm going to lay out 3 unsung figures from the Western era who played the invisible role behind its gleaming front. Do you want to see those names? Because this story doesn't end here, and the next chapter may change how you look at all of Hollywood's heroes. Click on that next link in the playlist and let's keep uncovering how the glory was built and whose stories were left out.